y'all, it's your girl Tiffany, Madam Luscious Black Beauty, your poetic psychic Pisces, High Priestess, aka the light that shines like a diamond. I am here tonight for another one of my story times with Poetic Psychic Pisces, High Priestess. Thank you all for joining me on tonight. We are going to get into a very juicy story once again, honey, in this new year. This is going to be number 5 story time, guys, okay? So, the name of or the title of this story is Fame, Sacrifice, Pain, and Gain, okay? So, as I always say, I do hope you all are doing well and you are feeling well. If you would be so kind to, please like, share, and subscribe. It would be greatly, greatly appreciated. Okay, guys? Um, Real quick, I just like to give you all some disclaimers, okay? As I always do for these story times, guys, okay? This is all original work that has been created by myself. Um, a lot of times, well, here lately especially, things that I write has been things that you have not read in a book before, things that you have not seen on a movie before, okay? And every inch of it is all my work. You all know at the end I usually show you all the rough draft where I've written the story. Okay, so here is the complete story in its entirety that I'm going to be sharing with you all on tonight. Okay, everything that is spoken about in this story are very factual. Okay, very much true. Okay, I had to tap into another place, if you will, to get these messages, okay, and everything that I needed to put in here, at least at this time. And there is so much more, okay. Um, like I said, this is going to be another juicy one, spicy one, drama filled one, okay? Very interesting one, okay? That will puzzle the brain, okay? So, I will also add that I don't want to trigger anybody, okay? Those of you in the know about what I'm going to speak about in this story, I know that you can't speak out on it, okay? What's understood don't need to be discussed, so I know that. I just don't want to trigger anyone in the wrong way that could, you know, um, cause some type of mental instability because of the things that I am talking about. Because, like I said, these are very real things that take place, okay? These are very real things that are going on. I was led by spirit to write this, okay? And like I said, I had to tap into um something that I'm just going to call something else in order to get these messages in here, okay, for this story, guys, okay? But like I said, I don't want to trigger anyone, okay? And those in the know whom will be able to identify with the things that I'm going to talk about, who have endured the things that I'm going to talk about, seen the things, gone through suffered through those things or whatever. I'm particularly speaking to those persons. It's in no effort to make a mockery or a joke of or make fun of or anything like that. So I don't want anybody to get the wrong idea. Okay. A lot of times I also tell you all my motivation behind a story. Okay, so my main motivation behind this story is because those of them who are put on these pedestals and idolized, okay, whether they are in leadership, whether they are high ranking in government, whether they are celebrities of some kind in the industry of some kind, no matter how glamorous, how beautiful, how handsome these people are, and how they have a way of making the public think that they are being open and honest and forthcoming with you all. But I know better, because I'm an empath, and because of very different reasons, and because frankly I was there. I have been there. Okay. In a past life. Okay. So I can feel, and I know what I'm going to speak on firsthand, if that makes any sense to anybody. Um, I can feel it. I have endured it, okay? Even if it is stemming from a past life, okay? Into wounds within this life as well, guys, okay? But these persons cannot speak on the things that I'm going to speak on tonight. They cannot matter of factly talk to you all really the way I'm going to speak with you all tonight, because it could put them in great danger. Okay. And so I am speaking on those things. Okay. I'm speaking on those things because I have every right to. Okay, because I have a deeper understanding and knowing, an overstanding of it all. And that's just what it is. I was led by spirit, much of which of it is channeled messages. Okay, it comes from higher realms. But I know what I'm talking about. Okay. And I also want to say, more often than not, just because of the simple fact that I'm naturally intuitive, with the psychic abilities that I have, with the empathic abilities that I have, many people, they look at nothing but how much these people make. You know, the nice cars that they drive, the nice mansions that they stay in, how nice their clothes are, the shoes are, how flawless their makeup and hair is, you know, how they did this show or that show, or in this project or that project. And because everybody loves being entertained. And besides being entertained, everybody loves them some drama and some mess. Okay. And that's usually what people dwell within. Okay. Those things don't pique my interest. I'm able to see beyond that. Okay, when I look into these people's eyes, I can see something different. Those of them who have demons in them, I can literally see those demons. Okay, those of them who are very unhappy but can't say so, I can see it in their eyes. Okay, as well as many other things. And it really pisses me off, which is further motivation for this story, how celebrities get treated. Okay, period, point blank. I don't like it. It's not right. It's not okay. It's not fair. Many of these people work very hard. Many of them are knowledgeable. They have degrees. Um, you know, on top of the talent, the raw talent and natural abilities and skills and creativities and talents that they have. Okay. And even with all of that, like I was just talking about in my previous reading, it's never enough, because you would not imagine how much more there is than that. And I feel utter disgust for what these people have to go through. And I do get, everybody have choices. Okay? I get that. Everybody has choices, but even a person who willingly made the choice to be where they are, nobody makes the choice to be treated like a slave, like a puppet, to be used, to be abused, and many other things. Okay, guys? So that's the motivation behind this story. I did just want to share that with you all, because some people may wonder, well, how in the world, where did this come from? How did that come up? What is going on? You know, and this, that, and the other. So I like to give you all an idea of the motivation and the drive and behind what I'm writing. Okay, what I am saying. There's not a whole lot of people that is in tune with oneself to understand their self in the present, as well as in a past life or several past lives. Some people are, okay. So I was there. I was a scribe and a writer in a past life, okay. I was an inventor in a past life. I was very wealthy in a past life, okay? I was a celebrity in a past life. I have been there, okay? I know it. I have experienced it. I have been a part of it, and just so happen I remember it in this lifetime. So I hope that you all can understand that on a surface level. Okay, guys. So we are going to get into it. Like I said, thank y'all for listening and watching. If you would like, share, and subscribe, I would greatly appreciate it. It's gonna get good.
I choose to get money, I'm stuck to this bread. Everybody got choices. These bitches is choosing, I'm all in their head. Everybody got choices. Keep it 1,000, I like that I chose. Everybody got choices. These niggas be hating, I already know, but I never go broke. I'm stay getting money, and I ain't gotta sell my soul. I'm stay getting money, you ain't broke, you ain't like me. I'm stay getting money, I give a fuck if you don't like me. I'm stay getting money, lazy, got dick that'll drive a hoe crazy, hater, wanna see a player get paper, traitor, loyal to my soil, not a faker, sleep, best moves, hella active in the streets, scared of the dark, have money, have heart, narc, shark, gossip like a brawl, chick a bitch like a smog, slipping, tripping, sober as a gopher, hide in a roller coaster, Star Wars, Yoda, never leave the house without my strap, shoot a motherfucker in his nap, never been a sucker or a pussy, blowing cookie, never coughing like a rookie, everybody got choices. I choose to get money, I'm stuck to this bread. Everybody got choices. These bitches is choosing, I'm all in their head. Everybody got choices. Keep it 1,000, I like that I chose. Everybody got choices. These niggas be hating, I already know, but I never go broke. I'm stay getting money, and I ain't gotta sell my soul. I'm stay getting money, if you broke, you ain't like me. I'm stay getting money, I give a fuck if you don't like me. I'm stay getting money, was it love at first sight? Did she ride you like a bike? Was it right? Was her pussy tight? Got some property? Drive a Maserati? You softer than a sock? You solid as a rock? Slow? Trained to go? Your team weak? You respected in the street? Shallow? Penny? Broke? Chimney? Not a BB or a pellet gun? But a long barrel bass drum? If I get into it, won't ride? I'ma give a nigga fair run. Still live in the trap? You ever go back? Wear a wire and a camera? Ears to the scanner? Everybody got choices. I choose to get money, I'm stuck to this bread. Everybody got choices. These bitches is choosing, I'm all in their head. Choices. I choose to get money, I'm stuck to this bread. Everybody got choices. These bitches is choosing, I'm all in their head. Everybody got choices. Keep it 1,000, I like that I chose. Everybody got choices. These niggas be hating, I already know, but I never go broke. I'm stay getting money, and I ain't gotta sell my soul. I'm stay getting money, you
all. Welcome to Story Time with Poetic Psychic Pisces, High Priestess. Tonight's title is Fame, Sacrifice, Pain, and Gain. A beautiful, bountiful bundle of joy, born as two and anointed with greatness from birth. Yet a malicious decision to split and switch the blessed double creation generated the generational curse that fell the same upon the twins, that unfortunately they never knew one another. The pair of identical girls shared the same void as well as spiritual gifts in life. Although the two, never knowing their other half, live the same trauma and horror in opposite lives. Furthermore, Diamond and Destiny were human experiments by none other than the United States government. The twins' real parents were very wealthy and prominent figures in society. However, they also were Luciferian and sellouts to the satanic powers that be. Not to mention, they themselves were products of incest, as well as the twins themselves, whom were conceived during a satanic ritual of sex magic. Both mother and father were very high ranking in the occult and other secret societies. The parents served in many different roles in their lives as it progressed, which included being an athlete and in the entertainment industry. Father later obtaining a very powerful governmental position. Now, a part of the government's experiment on the girls, besides separating them, was also the purposeful place one of the girls in poverty and the other in a wealthy family. This psychological operation was to see how the twins would turn out. A part of the process in this systematic abuse was to implant brain chips in them in an effort to control their mind. Speaking of the mind, the twins were both traumatized and placed under MK Ultra mind control. Also, other egregious types of programming was also applied, such as monarch programming as well as beta sex kitten programming. The twins also endured satanic ritual abuse from their infancy and on up in age. And as if those horrific events that took place weren't enough, the pair of the twins received CIA training, which included but is not limited to the very vigorous spy and assassin training. Throughout the abuse, especially in their childhood, it shattered the girl's mind, and alters as well as multiple personalities were created in them, that of which certain persons in power know the triggers for, to alter the twins' state of mind. Diamond was an orphan and given to a poor lower class family, which took place during a fraudulent adoption process. All of her life, she was lied to and abused, never told about her twin, and blocked from reaching her full potential. Destiny, however, was placed with a wealthy family, which the adoption process also was fraudulent to say the least. But it's no secret rich people get whatever they want for the right amount of money. Make no mistake though, just because you're in a rich and famous family doesn't stop or save you from being abused. So here we are today in the here and now. If you haven't figured out by now, I'm Destiny. Today is my 36th birthday, and of course, I have plans arranged for the evening. I only wish my twin sister Diamond were here to celebrate with me. It's been such a heavy burden on me since finding out the truth when I was 33 years old. However, my sister and I have some very special spiritual gifts, talents, skills, and abilities. which is what most the government was interested in. So I have been secretly communicating with her telepathically for the past 3 years. Nevertheless, I really hate the long suffering she has endured, but at the same time, so have I, only in a different way. I especially dislike the fact my twin has been stuck in unfortunately dangerous conditions and poverty. You see, the powers that be has literally prevented her from succeeding in every way and forcibly made her poor with only the bare minimum when she doesn't have to be in that way. We were born into wealth, but this all was a part of the setup from our birth. Born March the 6th, wicked witches conjured up demons and placed a curse upon us from the very moment of our first breath. Although placed in a different situation, my life has been hard, painful, and very demanding as well. Not to mention the constant pressure by the elite individuals in power. You see, from a very young age, I have been groomed and trained to be in several different positions and roles in the industry. My wealthy supposed parents, whom adopted me, were entertainers. Thus, I was coached to do so as well. Since I was 6 years old, my adopted parents sold me into the industry and have made millions of dollars off of me. I was a child star whom featured in many different films. From acting to modeling, I've been quite the celebrity. Well, I've become quite the celebrity, if you will. Yet people have no idea the type of hardships that go along with being a superstar. There are always some sinister individual in power who want to use and abuse you, but at the same time being in no position to say no. Um, you learn the hard way. The pain and suffering is far greater when you resist. It's a shame that most people whom idolize celebrities is unaware that no matter whether an actress, actor, model, or whatever, only about 10% of your work is within that career field. The other 90% of work is prostitution. Well, it has been that way for myself since I was a child, and frankly, I've seen many others have to suffer the same fate. Many of us models have been forced to form cocaine addictions as well as the consumption of cotton balls to keep us slim and from having an appetite at all most of the time. The fashion designers prefer and fancy the tallest yet most petite models to feature their designs. But between photo shoots and runway modeling, there are always very rich gentlemen in power whom summon the services of models, actresses, actors, singers, etc. to accompany them on their yachts, mansion parties, as well as private government functions, and etc. But needless to say, these individuals are no gentlemen at all. With all of their wealth, power, and privilege, to say that I've been used and abused is an understatement. We are essentially nothing more than mind controlled sex slaves, forced upon gravy trains. But I'm getting ahead of myself, so perhaps I should take it back and break down a timeline of events. My childhood. From the age of 6, after being adopted as an orphan infant, as I already stated, I told you I was groomed from a very early age. Before I was sold into the industry, I was trained to service powerful grown men. Being made to give my adopted dad fellatio was commonplace and a regular practice. My adopted mother was no angel either, whom partook in training me to pleasure women, starting with herself. The pair of them both satanically, ritualistically abused me as part of an initiation. And by the time I was a preteen, I was inducted into a dark coven of demonic practices where I became an initiated witch. I was often ushered to mansions to service its patrons. There were hot tub parties where myself and others were passed around. There were even the unfortunate snuff parties where snuff films were made of torture, rape, and murder of young kids that we had never seen before, yet we had to sit there and watch. Those of us whom had wealthy or elite parents were treated a little different, seeing as they didn't kill us, but it didn't change the fact of the trauma, horror, heartache, pain, and suffering we all endured. It's really amazing any of us live to see another day. But the way the powers that be see it, trauma creates greatness. So I suppose that's why we are set apart from all the rest. After all, many of us were turned into superstars, becoming models, actresses, actors, dancers, singers, and even prominent government officials. You see, this kind of thing is nothing new. It has been going on for a very long time now. Not to mention things most can't even imagine. Like the fact that I grew up with little boys who had wealthy parents also and suffered the same torture. But those once little boys have been transformed to women today. They were forcibly made to dress as little girls and treated as such, and later given hormones to start the transgender process. But because of their allegiance to Lucifer, they still have their penis. However, by all appearances, to the public, they have always been and seen and known as beautiful women, something of which is top secret in the industry. Furthermore, like so many others, my greedy adopted parents took every dime I made as a child throughout my teens until I was 18 years old. Although still in the industry, to be independently on my own, a sacrifice had to be made to advance my career. Or at least that was what I was told. So, Mommy Dearest had to go. The cold blooded, mean, and surly butch woman whom sat back and allowed me to be tortured and terrorized all my life while she stole all of my money. Well, she died December 6th. You see, the powers that be, they just love them some numerology. So, it was yet another 3-6 murder by numbers. Shaking my head. How unfortunate. But honey, I didn't even shed a tear. Just like she ain't never shed a tear for me either. Since my adulthood, well, like I told you, how I have received CIA training. So, because of my programming, the powers that be have used me in many different ways. From dating certain government officials, although my assignment was to spy, to several different arranged encounters with others in the industry, especially to will in the newcomers. I've served as a high-ranking, high-paid sex slave to the elite, as well as I have served as a handler for some. I've also partook in the occasional drug trafficking operations to oversee transactions go smoothly, as well as I have been a dominatrix and madam for some of the women under me. Today, however, I'm in an arranged marriage, a handler to my husband, unbeknownst to him, seeing as he thinks he runs, rules, and controls everything because he's a CEO. But he's under heavy watch by the United States government because the elites wants ownership over his business. That's where I come in, under contract and having to play my role. Even I had a child by him as part of my contract, but also to make our relationship more believable. Something I'm not excited about, but per my contract, I was paid 1.5 billion. So, as you can see, my current husband is actually worth a lot of money. So I'd say it's worth it. Although it's not like I haven't been pregnant before. I've had two other children for the powers that be also. Frankly, there are actually several of us breeders in the industry whom have babies for the elite for several different reasons. One of which is to supply other celebrities whom are transgender with babies for their relationships. Many of our children are also turned into child stars, too. But there is actually a very more sinister reason some women breed, and that is for sacrifice rituals. Our breast milk is even sold for hundreds of thousands to millions of dollars, also. Honey, you'd be surprised just how many wealthy men and women love them some breast milk. Believe me when I say, although rather ironic to the general public, breast milk consumption is really a thing, as well as S&M. It's amazing how many rich and powerful men like to cross dress and be dominated by a woman. In my opinion, by far they are the best just because they're mainly the only men in power whom still appreciates, respects a woman and also pay them very well. Many of them have suffered childhood trauma, though, at the hands of their own mothers, so they have the common mommy issues and like to role play, acting like babies, having sexual encounters with mother figures. A fantasy I fulfilled for many of them with such desires. Nevertheless, it kind of goes without saying one must do a lot to maintain the position of an A-list celebrity, no matter how talented, creative, or skilled you are. From gig to gig, it's a matter of whom you slept with to get the position. From producers to directors, managers, etc., you can best believe none of them are giving you something for nothing. And you get used to them coming on to you after suffering such an abusive childhood growing up. And trust me when I say, us women in the industry love the ones of them whom are gay because this is the only time we don't have to worry about being used in certain ways. Needless to say, they are also the best creators in many of their fields, so it's always a pleasure to be a part of their projects. Although, to be honest, all of the men in power on any level, whether they are publicly appear as straight men or not, they are all participating in homosexual activity behind the scenes. So it's essentially a must, hence requirement in the industry and government, many of which have wives as beards and families alike, but they are secretly down low in the closet gay for pay, and some of them are gay by choice, but maintain traditional relationships for public appearance and their job positions. Speaking of which, it's no secret that sodomy is a major part of the initiation rituals for both women, men, and teens. I'll never forget my first meeting as an adult in the industry with a major executive. Of course, set up by my then manager, whom told me a very prominent figure in power wanted to meet with me about a lucrative business opportunity. So, yes, of course, I went, and the overall disclosure as far as the talking points was as expected. However, seeing what I've seen and endured what I have, I wasn't surprised at all when this big time executive became turned on and aroused by my young 19-year-old self at the time. I looked over at him and his penis was rock hard, in which he unbuckled his pants and began to caress his own dick while speaking to me. Now, from my training, I know not to overreact to such action or make a scene because the consequences would be great to say the least, not to mention the loss of money to myself, management, publicists, etc. So I stared him down, listening graciously, but in utter disgust. Oh my, he reminded me so much of my adopted father, not to mention he had been given access to my triggers, one of which were see now, while he tapped his fingers on the table. The see now is used as a trigger because when I was a little girl, I was drowned by one of my handlers, which made me slip into a coma. Nevertheless, that is the reason why see now is one of my triggers. This trigger gave him access to my sex programming, which immediately altered my state of mind to make me more sexual, but in a childlike way. Needless to say, that man had his way with me right there in his office and on his desk. He wasn't gentle at all as he raped me from behind. I so desperately wanted it to hurry and just be over already, as he smelled awfully bad. The nerve of this bastard. When he was done, he just pushed me aside. Blood running from my bottom down my leg. He said, "Oh, honey, we're going to work out just fine together." He hurried to get himself together, and as I tried to gather my things to do the same, he said, "Just wait right here for a moment. I have a sign-on bonus for you." That's when I left. That's when he left out of the office, only for 5 other men to come in, all of which whom took advantage of me. And to think my manager sat right outside the room while those men raped me one right after the other at the same time on what's called a gravy train. The price we often have to pay to get the deal. Needless to really say, at some point in time I blacked out. When I came to, all I know is I couldn't walk, and my manager and supposed bodyguard carried me out the back of the building and into a limousine. That day, my manager got me higher than I have ever been in my life to help me recover. It seemed like around the clock once I was at some fancy facility for celebrities. I was shot up with some kind of clear substance, but I couldn't feel my legs. I was even given treatments to treat the wounds I sustained. And after which, between the alcohol, pills, and cocaine, I didn't know whether I was coming or going. For what it's worth, I got the job though. The leading highest paid role at that. And for anybody wondering, unfortunately, honey, there's no help available for any of us who find ourselves in dangerous situations like that. After a while, there's no need in yelling or screaming for help because no one who would actually give a damn can hear your cries. Furthermore, which is why many of us whom are the most valuable to the elite are sent to the underground lab and cloned, in which our clones and body doubles fill in for us when we are injured and out of commission, or when they want us 2 places at once. For instance, if I am to appear on a TV show yet have been sold to a sex slave, or for as a sex slave, for a period of time to a billionaire overseas, they would have my clone appear on TV while I, the real person, may be at some rich guy's mansion or suite. Many are unaware that there are many sex parties that take place amongst the elite, government officials, celebrities, and other rich and or powerful individuals. Between the threesomes, orgies, and random hookups, to be quite frank, everyone is having sex with each other on the regular. But wealthy individuals pay a lot of money for the chance to sleep with a A-list celebrity, something that is forced by the intimidating shapeshifters in power. But it's actually more fulfilling when we get the opportunity for long term, very high paying assignments, which usually comes as we get older and at some point in time. We get arranged marriages and or the permission to have children with very wealthy men, which like I've said previously is where I am in my life today. I'm glad my twin sister hasn't gone through all of this and everything that I have, but from what I was told or able to find out, her life wasn't no walk in the park either. But perhaps things will change for her or for the better since at 30 her awakening began and she's finally finding out so many things that was hidden from her, something in which has made her a target, and her fake family as well as those that she knew is out to try to sacrifice her for money, of course, and to keep their dirty little secrets covered about what they done to her, much of which the United States government has a big role in, because for some reason the powers that be don't want my twin and I connected. It seems that they thought they would be able to keep my sister under mind control until they killed her. But she broke her programming and woke up, and ever since then, the elites were very surprised, okay? And this happened well before they expected it to. They weren't ready at all, and all hell has broke loose ever since. I've never seen the powers that be so shook. That's why I can't let on. I've been communicating with my twin sister spiritually as well as telepathically. But I'm afraid the highest ranking witch of us all, the queen, may already know. Because there sure has been a lot of strange going on lately, with a lot of blood sacrifices of powerful people and secret of arrest of wealthy individuals. You see, this goes way back to the numerology of my twin and I's birth, the curse that was cast upon us. It seems that the main reason they don't want us together is because of the spiritual power we hold, a supernatural power so fierce that us two twins standing together could cause complete and utter destruction on earth. See, we were created in God's image, sent to earth on an angelic mission, that of which has been known since our birth. We come from a very royal, superior bloodline, and last of our kind, whom has inherited the wealth, power, and vision of the Most High. That in which is why, my friends, the powers that be has stopped at nothing to try to prevent. And now that my other half has awakened and risen, the elite's very foundation has been shaken. If truth be told, the twin pair of us have the power to heal and help this world to the likes of which no one has ever seen before, which is in complete opposition to the satanic powers that be and their beast system plan to destroy the world and humanity. Something civilians everywhere don't have a clue about or will even see coming. Furthermore, reasons we have had to attend more and more satanic rituals, which is gross to say the least. Besides chanting and conjuring up of demonic forces, there are a lot of things that happen in these satanic ceremonies, like the sacrifice of animals and humans, the drinking of blood, as well as the consumption of other human bodily fluids, even even the eating of human organs for some, although once more this is something forced upon many by the shape shifting beings in power. For what it's worth, there are several of us celebrities who literally hate having to participate in such a thing. But there are also very secret meetings that take place with the strongest of witches, whom cast curses and spells on overall the entirety of planet Earth in an effort to cause chaos, mass genocide, murder, and utter destruction. With that being said, my loves, I'd really like to stay and chat. But as we speak, a party for my 36th birthday has begun. So I really must mingle and circulate the crowd of guests whom have awaits my arrival. However, dear friends, if you are reading this, it's because I have said too much to expose the elites, and they have murdered by numbers, blood sacrificed me. If you don't hear from me soon, I'd warn you not to believe the fake mainstream media news, tabloids, or TMZ because it's all a hoax. Don't fall for the cover story. It was no suicide, drug overdose, or freak accident. I was blood sacrifice murdered by Hollywood men in black celebrity whackers, hitmen hired by the elite satanic powers that be. Don't forget my twin. She's on her way to rising like a phoenix. The end. Hello, guys. Well, I hope you enjoyed tonight's story time with Poetic Psychic Pisces, High Priestess, yours truly. Um, I know it was a lot to intake, honey, okay? Um, but anyway, I hope you all enjoyed it. If you would, please like, share, and subscribe. It would be greatly, greatly appreciated, guys. Um, Also, in conclusion, I would just like to say these story times that I'm doing, like I told you all in the disclaimer at the beginning, um, I feel like these are very good stories, that you haven't, read in a book or seen in movies and things like that or whatever. Just like with my last story time that I did before this one, I just think that these stories really need to be put in production, if you will, okay? Um, by someone, okay? Because these stories need to be told, okay? Um, these are real things that's going on. Some of the things that I have spoken about, especially the last few stories that I have done, have been so in depth on a lot of things. I'm not even really sure if they would allow those of them whom are in the industry to produce such work. Okay, but from my last story, Reverend Can't Get Right, to this story, fame, sacrifice, pain, and gain. Honey, I just feel like, Tyler Perry should be like all over this. You know what I'm saying? I just really kind of feel like Tyler Perry would be the man for the job that could totally, you know, bring these stories to life on screen and could totally put this into production. Um, I like being a blessing to others is other people who are already in positions, already, have a network of individuals that they are working with, that they are dealing with, or whatever. And so, I put these stories out here also, or put creative arts out also to be, a blessing to others, even, who may need some creative ideas on, you know, something to work on or something. So this is what I love to do. I love to write, but I also like healing and helping others. I also am a giver, so I like giving to others as well. I'm saving like the best of my writings, which pertains to my own life and things that I have endured and gone through, okay, for, my own personal use when I put that in motion or whatever. But these little, short stories that I'm putting together or whatever, I feel like it could be very useful for individuals who are already in position. And I'm not some stuck up cocky person, like that. A lot of people are out for all they can get for themselves, but I really feel that, we as a people can be blessings to others, giving and generous to others, okay? Um, as well. So that, I when I do my poems and I put them out there to the world, when I do my stories and I put them out there to the world, I could write these things and just hoard them and hold them for myself, and nobody ever hear it and nobody ever know. But you never know what type of artistry you have or creativity you have or talent or skill or ability that you have that can help heal somebody else, uplift somebody else, give somebody else a voice that don't really have one, don't know how to really format things in a spoken word, to get things out there or whatever. And I just so happen that just happened to be one of my many skills that I have and I do. Okay, so like I said, I hope you all enjoyed it. I know it was rather lengthy. I also know that it contains a lot of, 1-2 punches and knockouts in there and things, okay? But like I told you all in the beginning, these things are matter of factly going on. And have been going on for quite some time in the world or whatever. So I just wanted to share that with you all. I thank each and every one of you for listening and for watching. You all know how to contact me. It will be in the description box below. If you would like to donate to the channel, you can do so through Cash App at $TiffDIAMOND36 or through PayPal at PayPal.me at 36 diamond, guys. That's paypal.me/at 36 diamond, okay? As I always tell you all, take care of yourselves, take care of each other, but most of all, take care of your babies, guys, okay? Watch your surroundings, watch the company you keep, watch the surroundings and the company in which your children are in as well. That is very important. You never know who's going to betray you, who's going to backstab you, guys. There is wickedness in high places, and there is evil that is lurking around every corner, so keep some protection on you. I also want to add that the music that you all heard in the background throughout this or in this video, okay, I do not own the rights to that music, okay? I'm just going to send a shout out to E40 for his song Choices, which was a motivational song that went along with the story. So I just want that to be known, okay? That part of the video, that that is somebody else's song, so give all credit to that individual for his work, for his song, and everything, okay? So I just wanted that to be known as well, guys, okay? Y'all stay awake, stay aware, stay vigilant, and stay prepared, because if you stay ready, you ain't got to get ready, baby. Until the next time, peace, love, and light. Namaste. I am that I am, created in the image of God.